My name is Aaron Rakefet. I'm sitting here in my office in Yerushalayim with my technical assistant, Yosef Mordechai Gachman. It represents Kibbutz Galyat. As you know, I'm a third-generation American, and I'm privileged to have great-grandchildren who are already fifth-generation Yerushalmiyites. My parents, we brought an Aliyah as well. Yosef Mordechai was born in Kiev, came to the States, to New York, to Brooklyn at the age of 11, ultimately wound up in Morashah, YU, Torah Shraga, Gris Kolel, Jerusalem. It's a Kibbutz Galyat, thank God. Join us. I understand that Sunday it's going to be the Shloshim of Rabbi Sadowsky, and I'm very moved to recall his memory. The Sadowsky family represents a 100-year connection with what is today Yeshiva University. His father, who later becomes a rabbi in Baltimore, was in 1929 Musmach of the Yeshiva, a Talmud of the Mechete Eulogy Rav Shlomo Palachek, who arrived in America in 1922. When I entered the yeshiva in 1951, it was one unit, not like today where it's split high school, college, postgraduate. Then it was one building, and a kid 13 entering MTA could seek out the best kids in REITs. And I was seeking, I sought, and I remember two individuals come to mind as the top students who became my close friends. One was the Gersh, that's Reb Gershon Sadowsky. The other one was the Babe, that was Reb Aaron Lichtenstein. It was called the Babe. He had a big, round, baby face. And they were tremendous individuals, Matmidim, Lamdonim, Tzadikim, didn't waste a minute. And I refer you to my volume, my seventh volume. I have 9 in print. Many have gone through 4 editions. I'm working on a 10th now. And this volume is called, it's a scholarly memoir from Washington Avenue to Washington Street. And on page 51, I just want to quote to you, Gershon Sadowsky came from Baltimore, where his father was the rabbi of the Magen Israel congregation. Gershon was a prodigious student and devoted endless hours in the Beit Medrash to his Talmudic study. At night, the students who came back to the study hall generally returned to the dormitory well before midnight. Only Lichtenstein and Sadowsky remained in the Beit Medrash much later. Many times we were curious as to who stayed up longer. The next morning, we always solved the problem by turning to Sam Purvis, the night custodian of the yeshiva building. With a dramatic sweep of one hand over another, he would announce, quote, the Gersh at 120, the Babe at 110, end quote. This simply meant that Sadowsky, who is popularly known as Gersh, left the Beis Medrash at 1:20 a.m. The Babe, which was Lichtenstein's appellation among the students, retired at 1:10 a.m. And those among my earliest memories, and with role models like Gersh and the Babe, you can imagine the high level, the gold standard they set for little kids like myself at the time. And Gersh, I remember his smicha beginner. I still live it. When then the beginners were oral. No one can understand this today, but it was an entire different system. And you went in, and there was the Rav and the Lamsha Rav, Rav Moshe Shatzkis and Rav Shmuel Belkin, and you faced an oral test on your Redeya, and 100 daf Gemara was required. Whatever Gemaras you wanted to. So the big day comes when Gersh is going in, and a group of us who were inspired by him were outside. I could show you in the main academic center if I were there now. exactly where we were, right outside Reb Shmuel Belkin, Dr. Belkin's conference room, where all this took place. And our ears are to the door. We're trying to figure out. And 2 minutes after Gersh walks in, he walks out. And we say, Gersh, what happened? And he mumbles something, and he's back in the base medrash within a half second. His Gemara, life is normal. Later we found out that they shot a question at him from Yoredei, and he started to quote the Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah, the Shach, the Taz by heart. And the Rav and the Rav Simon says, Gershon, mi ken as du kennst, genug, man hat nicht Zeit für euch. And he kicked him out. He said, Gershon, we know that you know. We don't have time to waste with you. Out. In other words, you've passed, finished. We don't have to go further. And the Gersh was back to learning. Later, I asked him, a number of years later, because I got smicha in 61, and I went into the rabbinate immediately, 61, 62. I was Lower Marian Synagogue. The second rabbi, then 62, I had to come back to the New York area because I was appointed a Rosh Yeshiva in Reeds. And I built a shul from the ground. The first rabbi, the first shul, suburban Essex County, Maplewood Jewish Center, Beth Ephraim, at the border of Maplewood, South Orange, literally at the border. A block and a half from Columbia High School, for those who know the area. And then in 69, I went in Aliyah. But I asked her at one point, why didn't you go into the rabbinate? And he told me, my father, at nicht gelegt Honig.